You may find yourself feeling stuck between two choices. You know something feels off. You know something needs to change. Yet, when it's time to decide, you feel confused. Not because you don't know. Often it's because you know more than you're ready to admit. Sometimes the hardest thing isn't making a decision. It's knowing what you actually want. Not because you're incapable. Not because you're indecisive. It's because somewhere along the way, your desires got tangled up with expectations, conditioning, survival, and what other people wanted from you. So now, when you try to make a decision about love, about your future, about what comes next, you feel conflicted, pulled in opposite directions. In this episode, we're talking about why clarity can feel so difficult, why confusion is often a sign of deeper awareness, and how the elegant woman begins clearing the noise so she can hear herself again. I invite you to grab your favorite beverage and settle in with me as we talk about why you feel so confused about what you want.
Becoming the magnificence in me, empowered, strong, and gracefully, with poise and elegance, I can see I am who I was born to be.
Welcome to Becoming Conversations in Elegance and Empowerment, a sanctuary for women who desire to live with purpose, grace, and quiet confidence. I'm Sine Singer, your host, author, and transformation guide. Gentlemen are welcome to listen in, but this space is intentionally crafted for the elegant woman becoming all she's meant to be. If this conversation resonates and you'd like focused private support, I invite you to explore private coaching. You can find more information anytime at becomingpublishing.com. Now, let's step into today's topic. One of the most frustrating places to be in life is knowing that something feels off, but not knowing exactly what would feel right. Many women come to me when they're in this exact place, not because they lack intelligence, but because they've spent years adapting to family, adapting to relationships, adapting to careers, adapting to expectations. When you spend enough time adapting, you can lose sight of your original design. I know this place intimately. There were years in my life when I thought I knew exactly what I wanted in relationships. Then I'd meet someone new, feel hopeful, feel optimistic, only to quickly realize, nope, this isn't it either. Many years ago, when I was in the dating scene, my sister used to constantly say to me, "He ain't the one, girl, he ain't the one." Every single guy I went out with, she said that about. I was so sick of hearing, "He ain't the one," but it was true, and I needed the wake-up call. I needed to stop living in fantasy land and go back to my blueprint of what I thought the one would look like. His qualities, the way I wanted to be treated by him, and how my life would look with him in it. Having your hopes dashed over and over again can make you question yourself. Am I too picky, too guarded, too unrealistic? Usually the answer is no. Often what's happening is that you're refining. You're getting clearer. Years ago, someone criticized me and said I had no right to speak about relationships because I had not experienced the kind of love I wanted yet. My response was simple. Sometimes you have to know exactly what you don't want before you can become crystal clear on what you do want. That truth shaped so much of my life. It shaped my standards, my boundaries, my discernment. It taught me that confusion is often not a lack of knowing. It's the beginning of knowing. It's sorting, separating, clarifying. As I've written before, lavish love begins within. Self-love is not found in being chosen. It is found in choosing yourself. That means choosing honesty with yourself. Not the performance, not the fantasy, not the wish, the truth. The elegant woman understands that clarity is part of sovereignty. You cannot govern your kingdom well if you don't know what belongs inside it. That's where the work begins. Not out there, but within. I invite you to stay with me because next I want to show you what psychology says about why clarity feels so difficult and why confusion may actually mean you're closer than you think. If this conversation is resonating and you recognize yourself in what we're discussing, I invite you to apply for private coaching. I work privately with a small number of women each season who are ready to rebuild confidence, strengthen emotional boundaries, and make clear decisions in life and love. This is structured, focused work, not surface motivation. If you're navigating heartbreak or life transitions and you want grounded private support, you can apply at becomingpublishing.com. I personally review every application. There's actual science behind confusion. Psychologist Leon Festinger introduced the concept of cognitive dissonance in 1957. I'm sure you've heard people throwing the term around a lot lately. I have. It is actually the tension we feel when two competing beliefs exist in our heads at the same time. This can sound like, I want love, but I'm afraid of being hurt. I want peace, but I'm used to chaos. I want more, but I'm afraid to leave what's familiar. That internal conflict creates emotional static. It feels like confusion. However, it's often competing truths. Researcher Dr. Daniel Kahneman explained in his book Thinking Fast and Slow that the brain relies heavily on familiarity when making decisions. Familiarity feels safer than uncertainty, even when what is familiar has harmed you. That's an important truth to digest for a moment. It's often why people say things like, yeah, she's a hot mess, but she's my hot mess, or this is just our family and the way we are. Sometimes confusion isn't about not knowing what you want. It's about knowing that what you want requires becoming someone new. That can be unsettling for some people. Fear of success is a real thing. Dr. Brene Brown has said, quote, vulnerability is the birthplace of clarity, end quotes. I deeply agree. Clarity requires vulnerability with yourself to admit this relationship isn't enough. This environment isn't healthy. This dream no longer fits who I am. I've outgrown this job and it no longer serves me. This town is too small for me. That can feel like grief. Research in neuroscience from Dr. Tali Sharot at University College London found that uncertainty activates the brain's threat response, increasing anxiety and hesitation. In simple terms, the brain does not love the unknown. It prefers certainty, even painful certainty. This explains why people stay in relationships that no longer fit, in jobs that drain them, in family systems that wound them, in environments they have outgrown. They don't do it because they're weak. It's because uncertainty feels dangerous. This is why getting clear requires emotional courage. One of the most practical clarity tools I've shared for years is list making. I'm big on it because writing forces clarity. Cognitive psychology shows that writing, reading, and reflecting reinforce learning and awareness. I often tell women, make the bad list first of all the negative qualities. What do you no longer want? Be honest. Once you've completed this list, then turn it into a positive list. What are you actually seeking? This process is vitally important. Why? It's simple. Clarity sharpens boundaries, and boundaries protect your kingdom. Doctors Henry Cloud and John Townsend wrote in their book, Boundaries, quote, boundaries define us. They define what is me and what is not me, end quote. That's the work, not becoming hardened, becoming clear. Many women come to me when they're in this exact place, where they know something feels off, but they can't quite name it. That's exactly why I created the Clarity Resets. It's a focused 50-minute private session designed to help you untangle the emotional noise, identify what's keeping you stuck, and get clear on what your next right step is. If you're sitting in uncertainty right now and need clarity, you can book your Clarity Reset session at any time without an application at becomingpublishing.com. I invite you to stay with me because next I'm going to show you how to get clarity in your daily life. Many of the ideas we're exploring this season are expanded on in my newest book, Becoming Lavishly Loving, available on Spotify, my website, and most online booksellers. It explores intuition, emotional boundaries, and protecting your inner world with elegance. For women who are ready to apply this work in real time, not just understand it intellectually, I offer a private 3-month coaching container where we rebuild confidence and clarity from the inside out. You can learn more and apply at becomingpublishing.com. So what do you do when you feel confused? First, stop forcing an answer. Confusion is often a signal that something deeper needs your attention. Be gentle with yourself, and the answers will come. Second, ask yourself, what do I know I don't want anymore? This is where clarity often begins, not with perfect vision, but with elimination. This is where writing the bad list of negative qualities comes into play. By identifying what you don't want, you'll begin to get really clear on what you do want. Third, notice where fear is speaking. Fear sounds urgent. Fear sounds panicked. Fear sounds like scarcity. Truth is quieter. Truth is steady. Truth feels grounded. Quote, remind yourself that peaceful, loving relationships come first and foremost from your state of mind, Dr. Wayne Dyer wrote in his book, Real Magic. That's powerful. Everything begins in the mind. The people you desire, the life you desire, the peace you desire, it all begins there. That is part of your kingdom and a place where you rule and reign. You can control your thoughts and change your mindset at any given moment. That is empowerment. If you found something enlightening in this episode, be my guest and share it with your fabulous friends who could benefit from these conversations. Becoming Conversations in Elegance and Empowerment is recognized by FeedSpot as one of the top elegance podcasts for 2026, and I'm honored you're here. I invite you to follow the show on whichever platform you listen so you don't miss what's next. If you're ready for deeper private work, you can book a Clarity Reset session or apply for private coaching at becomingpublishing.com. If you're a podcaster or community leader looking for a guest speaker on emotional healing, self-trust, boundaries, or becoming, I'm open to guest appearances. This is where awareness begins to become something more. The elegant woman understands this. She knows her mind is part of her kingdom. She protects it, she trains it, she clears it. The magic happens when she does. Clarity returns. Not all at once, but enough to do the next right thing and take the next step. That's all clarity has to do. It doesn't have to show you the whole staircase, only the next step. Keep your crown on and stay on your throne. Trust what is becoming clear, even if it arrives quietly. Thank you so much for spending time with me on Becoming Conversations in Elegance and Empowerment. If something in today's conversation spoke to you and deeper focused support feels right, I invite you to explore private coaching at becomingpublishing.com. Until next time, stay elegant, stay empowered.
Becoming the magnet.